It looked offensively like your guys are struggling a little bit. I know Marquise talked about turnovers and got to eliminate them. What's your estimation seeing them in a scrimmage situation?
Well, I think until I go in and watch the film, it's always hard for a coach to say things. But I think that it's just like anything else. Our starting center got hurt right off the bat, I think the second play. And so you're underneath somebody a little bit different. And I think it took a while to get into rhythm. But I've been doing this is 29 years. And every time you have a first scrimmage of some sort of that nature, that's pretty much how it goes. I mean, offense is usually a little bit behind. You don't have much timing. We're playing all kinds of people. You know, we got to really figure out before you can get timing and execution down. You got to play those 13, 14, 15 guys are going to play together all the time, and we didn't do that today. So we looked more for, for instance, David Cobb, a freshman running back. We're looking for guys that maybe can contribute that we haven't had here or something, or somebody that stepped up. So we knew we weren't going to be perfect execution. If we were, then we're probably in trouble. We're not going, we've got work to do, and we know that on both sides of the ball. We had some mistakes on both sides, and probably the best thing we did is we punted the football well and did some things of that nature. And then we had a few guys get banged, and when you get a few key players hurt, it's probably good in camp for the next guy to have to step in. And Marquise had to get underneath another center that he hadn't been underneath a whole lot, so it took a while for him to get used to it. But that's going to happen. So you got to be ready for those kind of things. So I think what happened today is pretty much what needed to happen, and we'll take that film back. We've been going at it now for about, I think that was 10th practice, somewhere in those lines. We haven't backed off of them much. I think they're a little bit tired. I didn't think we moved. This is the first time I thought maybe we may be a little bit tired right now. But that's a mental game. You got to push through it. So, but we'll get better. But it's good film certainly for us to take a look at and dissect and see what we need to do to get better.
Seems like you were getting more comfortable with Cobb as the scrimmage went along.
Well, I've been comfortable with it since he's been here. He learns fast, so as long as you learn, you got an opportunity to get better. And, the hardest thing it's like those young receivers going out there, running out there, they're trying to be fast, but their wheels are turning. I mean, they've been here for 10 practices and learned a whole different offense, a whole different deal. And we have such a young team. If you look at the roster, there's not very many seniors. Offensive line, after Wynn got hurt, we think we got 2 seniors, the rest are freshmen and sophomores. We got all freshman running backs, I think, except for one. So it's a young football team. So today was pretty much, for some of them, a little bit of unique experience. But really what was neat is the young group, and Dexter came in there with that young group, had 25 plays, and that huddle and that group of kids really did a good job of handling themselves, really. And that was a good, that was good for our future. It really is. I was impressed with that.
Punting was a strength yesterday. What has been the difference maker with the punting game that's kind of clicked here in the last couple of days?
Well, the punter, I think your whole key, you get good protection. Your punter's got to hit the ball pretty good, and he's hit it pretty good the last 2 days, but got to hit it on game day. Anybody can hit him in practice, got to hit him on game day.
What's the early report on Wynn?
I don't know. I'm out there coaching. When you're coaching, it's just like on game day. Trainer comes up, says, "Hey, coach, you can't go," and you move on, because you sit there and this is good training for coaches. If you sit there and go, "Oh, geez, I get," then what do you that's how you react in the game. You throw the next one in, and he's been getting reps too, so he's got to be the next one to get ready to play, because we can't sit there and tell you guys, well, we lost a couple guys, so that's why we got beat. I mean, we got to coach them and get them better. So really, I bet you I go in there, I bet you that young center did a pretty good job today, because we really didn't have a lot of snaps on the ground, which I thought we might have. There's a couple in there.
When Wynn missed a couple practices because of death of family, I think Epping was the guy that
We've had Epping and Motla both have worked there. We've also had Olson work there, the true freshman. So we've got some guys in there that, you try to get your 5 best offensive linemen at the end of the day, whoever they are. And we're still trying to figure that out. We don't have to get all that figured out right yet. We can be patient and see how kids play over the next 2 weeks, because as we get going here, we have to worry about building a foundation on concrete here, and to do that, we're going to be real careful on decision making, and the only way you make good decisions is keep practicing. The ones that get hurt, like Wynn, we do know what he can do, okay? And I hope he's okay, but we know what he can do. So we need to find out, if that happens, who the next guy is, and so that gave us an opportunity today.